Hey, we are live. I am I am joined here by Dan of Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. I like bringing on guests for my live stream. Dan will join me for about 15 or 20 minutes or so, and then I have a couple of in real life friends who are going to join, which is terrifying. Dan, how are you?
I'm good, but am I not in real life friend? Am I like a fake friend or a
Well,
fictitious
there
friend?
there's a difference. I've known these guys for one of them for many years. And you, I met at the National. We'll see you again at the Shriner Show.
Yes.
Speaking of Shriner Show, we have Ryan, who goes to Shriners and has a great channel too. Talks about the uh, history through cards. I think is the channel name.
That's kind of one of the themes of my show, you know?
Yes.
So,
So Dan, you're a big time vintage collector baseball. Let me remove this so people can see your channel name. Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. What are you targeting at the Shriner Show?
Boston Braves. So I collect two different years of Boston Braves, the Miracle 1914 team and the 1948 pennant winning team. So I like to collect all different kinds of stuff from those two teams. And our mutual friend Mark Hoyle has assured me that there will be tons of Boston Braves stuff at the show.
I love Ruben. This is such a great comment. So, Dan, for those of us, including me, who don't know, what's the miracle of 1914?
So the Boston Braves at that point, what they call, yeah, they would call the Braves, I guess. Boston National is what you see on a lot of the cards. They were kind of a ragtag bunch of guys who would come from a bunch of different teams and stuff. And in the middle of July, they were in last place, like, I don't know, like 15 games out of first place. And then they just went on a run and they won, and they ended up winning the pennant pretty easily. And then going into the World Series in 1914 and sweeping the Philadelphia A's. And so they are the Miracle Braves. And there's a bunch of different really cool personalities in there. And Johnny Evers, who we know from, Tinkers to Evers to Chance or Tinkers to Evers to Chance, was traded to the Braves, and he was the MVP that year. So that was
Huh.
kind of a cool thing. Rabbit Moranville, you would know him
Yep.
from being in the Hall of Fame. He was on that team, but the rest of the team is a bunch of odd characters, and I love their stories, so I collect the team. And all the cards are all like oddballs. Like, for instance, Dick Rudolph, who won 26 games that year, has a bunch of different cards. This one is a Collins McCarthy, which is a candy card.
Well,
And so I just recently got this. The
too slow.
Dick Rudolph, Collins McCarthy, 1917. Dick Rudolph was born in the Bronx, went to Fordham University, which is where my son just graduated from law school in May. And
Congratulations to him.
he is buried in the Bronx. I actually gonna go think. I think I'm gonna actually go up to visit old Dick Rudolph in the Bronx, and then I'm gonna do a Dick Rudolph show because I have enough cards now to do it. So there he is.
Mangini, I appreciate that Mangini stopped by. He's out in Pennsylvania campaigning for president right now in the swing state.
He was on my show this week, and it aired. It premiered on Saturday morning, and it's getting a lot of views. And we didn't talk about the presidency at all. We talked about baseball cards.
I voted for Mangini, and I want a Mangini for president sticker.
I voted probably 50 times for Mangini.
So you're why he's ahead.
No, he's ahead by like 1,000 votes or something. So
Wow.
I'm just one of many people who believe that John Mangini should be the hobby president.
I put in a vote. I guess that'll have to do. By the way, I want to point out here that Dan has done a great homage to me by flipping some of his cards behind him upside down.
Yes, over here.
It's
You see the flips are upside down, so I flipped over about 12 different cards. Not in homage to you, Mike, but in homage to your wonderful wife who does the
Uh,
flip.
I will tell her. She's probably watching right now. She does enjoy watching my live streams and then picking on me later. So I want to make sure that people are subscribed to Dan because he has a great channel. His videos tend to be more long than mine, but they're not Greg
Thank
of
you.
midlife crisis long. I do have your Mangini one in my watch later list.
John and
So.
I only went about an hour, which is about the normal one for me, but I've done some that have gone hour 20, hour 30, hour 40. But I'll tell you, I did a video with Dylan Double D, who I am a huge fan of, and I met him at the National in the same room that I met you, Mike. And actually, no, it was later on. I met you at the show, but the Moynihan get together thing with the YouTube get together on Thursday night. So I met Dylan, and we like immediately like hit it off. Agreed we were going to do a collaboration. We did a collaboration, and the two of us just talked. It was an hour and 40 minutes, and I'm like, oh, nobody's going to listen to all this. I'll tell you, it has over 1,000 views. It's one of my most watched videos, and I'm like, how do you figure this out? You know,
that's awesome. I do have a final guest on my show, and the final guest is the longest-winded YouTuber, which is Greg. He'll be joining if he makes it. Like you, he had a kid thing that he decided to prioritize over me.
I could be in New Jersey right now, Mike, but I prioritized you. I'm a huge Greg fan. Greg and I hit it off at the National, also at the Ash dinner, and we are going to do a collab at some point. Yes, Orlando, who I love, who I met in person for the first time at Strongsville, who, believe it or not, is an even nicer person in person than he is on any of the live streams or any of his videos, agreed to come on my channel a long time before I had probably 150 subscribers at the time, and he agreed to come on, and I thought that was really nice. Oh, by the way, I have 797 subscribers, so
let's get you over 800.
Be nice to get up to 800 tonight. So.
Yeah, I have always said that Orlando is the nicest guy in the hobby, and I don't think there's any. I mean, there's a lot of amazingly nice guys, Dylan, but Orlando is next level nice guy.
Yes,
and has one of the greatest collections on YouTube.
Yeah, and an incredible eye. I always am amazed when Orlando buys some raw cards, or as Mangini calls them, ungraded, and then gets them graded and gets like 8s. How come I can't pick out the 8s?
Mangini has a goon squad of security protecting him from Secret Service. The Secret Service is all over Mangini.
Mike, if you have access to it, there is a picture of you and Mangini and I.
You showed it, yeah.
If you want it, if you can find it, I don't know. Probably buried somewhere.
I don't know where it was.
I put it on my national video. So
yeah. You told us probably the same thing you tell everybody else. That you wanted to meet just the two of us. That was your top priority at the National.
I get the joke, but it's not true. I had said that on a live stream. I did a For Collectors live stream, which, by the way, I'm doing For Collectors guest hosting on the 27th of October, which I guess is 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, on the what? 27th?
Yeah, the Sunday. And so anyway, when I did a For Collectors show like the Sunday before everybody left for the National, and I said it, and there is a record of this, that the two people I wanted to meet most that I hadn't yet to meet were you and Mangini. So
that you had yet to meet. I see.
Correct.
So you had met everybody else, and it was just me and Mangini that were left. Got it.
Sort of. Yeah.
Well, I do enjoy your channel when I have the opportunity to watch. You have, to me, you kind of specialize in super collectors, which is something that I wanted to dabble in, and you do an awesome job asking really smart, really thought-provoking questions of these expert super collectors, and not only super collectors, but just guys who have amazing collections, and I appreciate that.
Did you get the Venmo money that I sent so that you would say all those nice things to me?
I am still blown away by the Mark Hoyle one.
Mark Hoyle has been on 5 times. Which one?
The one where you were in his card room.
Yes.
That,
Mark Hoyle's card room is a amazing experience. I can't even like describe it. Yeah, the Lefty Crow show was great also. Mark is just a good guy. He's very knowledgeable. He's very humble about his collection too. He's like, I spend like $300 on a Lefty Grove, what's that? Cash In Publications. Beautiful card. I get it. I'm like so excited. I'm going to use it for the show. Mark's like, I know I have that. I just can't find it. It's like he's lost more cards than I have.
Yeah, I've stopped asking Mark because I really want to go in and do a video in his card room, and every time we've worked it out, and he's probably watching right now, something falls through for one of us, and I'm hoping that it just kind of happens without me trying to work it out. But it's not going to be this next time because you're going to be there. But actually, I'm going down with Oliver to the show.
The problem with Mark lives in the Boston area, but he's south of there he is. Hey, he's south of the city by a good 30 minutes or more. So it was a bit of a drive for me to do it because I came in from Newport, dropped my daughter off, dropped my wife off at the hotel, and then headed to go hang out with Mark Hoyle. And it was a bit of a drive, but infinitely worth it, if I could say it that way. That room was amazing. Also, by the way, one of my most watched videos.
Speaking of Newport, is there any word on Paul's card, the Babe Ruth?
I haven't talked to Paul since Philly. I have not heard anything about it. I know a few more people posted about it, but I don't think there's going to be. And there's not been any word of video on it. So my guess is that Paul's hopefully put in his insurance claim and been fully reimbursed or will be fully reimbursed. So.
Yeah, I hope he does. I mean, that's what was it decide, like $16,000 to $20,000 card?
Yeah, it was the red Babe Ruth 33 Gaudy in a 3. I think it was an SGC 3. So that's got to be like a close to $20,000 card.
Yeah, that's a
big bummer.
Yeah, it's when it happens to the guys that are really popular, I think it makes it harder, makes it worse. Like Ash, super popular, one of the most reputable dealers in the hobby. Paul, very popular, very reputable, been doing this for decades.
And I wonder if, both of those guys, I've purchased many cards from both of them. There we go, $7.98, 2 more. One of the things about those two guys is that they're approachable. They're collectors themselves. They talk. They're wonderful people. And it's maybe that people feel like they could take advantage of the ones that are, maybe a little more open and easy to deal with and, more trusting. Because, Paul, they did the same thing to Paul that on a smaller scale that they did to Ash, which is to, take him away from looking at the card. What do you call it? Like a distraction.
Yeah.
So he had there was somebody doing a distraction on him and taking him away from where the hit was going to be. So I don't know. It's just one of those things where I feel like, people have to be more careful, but you don't need an armed security guard next to your cards, but maybe something a little in between that. But Ash just put, he now has more people working for him. He now has more adults working for him, and I guess there's increased vigilance in his setup. So I
don't think they ever got the guys who stole the cards, which is I cannot believe it's gone on this long without them catching them. Whoa, 800 James Gottschall. I hope I'm pronouncing that. Frequent commenter, great commenter.
James is a great collector too. I believe he has, if not the whole monster set, he's got a lot of T206s. I've bought T206s from James.
Nice. We've done our job here. Can't find 10,000 subs in. That's right. Jason. I have a feeling Jason's already subscribed to you.
Jason is he was in the house with us at the National.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
guy. He was I would say the most popular guy in the house because he has a very good personality. Everybody likes him, and he's very what's the word for it? Easy to get along with, as opposed to like a cranky old guy like me. Oh, there's Mookie. There we go.
Who I met in person.
Yes, I last saw Mookie at the Philadelphia show, and he's the only person who knows my newest idea for a show that I'm going to do. And and I told him the whole story, and he loved it, and he hasn't said anything to anyone. So I have my new secret, which is that I'm going to be doing a video about my like number one. I'm hoping Mangini's still watching. Grail card, and how I'm going to acquire it, and a funny way I'm going about it, and how it's going to be. The National is going to be where I get it, and it's a whole thing that I'm going to go through, and I'm looking forward to doing the video because I've written it in my head about 20 times. But I told Mookie all about it. He loved it, so now I'm going to go full steam ahead on it.
And now my friend Oliver is here. There will be breaks going on, yeah. All right, Dan, we have you to 804 subscribers in 15 minutes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
That's what we love.
My next goal, of course, will be 1,000, which I want to get before the end of the year. 804, there we go.
Yes. What is Mangini's Soul Grail? I don't know that I've seen that.
I believe it's T206 Honus Wagner.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, right. Mangini does have the Honus Wagner that I want to get, which is the Colgan's Chips, where they use the same portrait as the T206. It's just, instead of costing millions of dollars, it's thousands of dollars.
We're at 807.
Nice.
I'm not getting paid for this, by the way. Penny Sleever. I truly believe in the Penny Sleever products.
I do too.
Great product.
That's because of you, Mike. Honestly, I never would have heard of it. But then I watch a lot of your videos. I hear about Penny Saver, and then I meet Isaac at the National, and he gives me a bunch of stuff, and I bring them home, and I'm like, these are fantastic. The problem that I've always had with the I guess you call them front loaders, or what do you call them? The
one touches.
No, these. What do you call these?
Oh, semi-rigids.
Semi-rigid. Well, this is not even penny sleevers. They go in so easily. There's no pushback, and that's good for the card. It's good for the quality of the card that you don't have to shove it in there, and they go in so smoothly.
I have huge fingers, and so it's hard, and they slide right in. Look at this. We just turned this into an ad for the penny sleever. Dan,
I don't have any sponsors, Mike. So I mean,
you might have one now. We are up to 809. And that's where that feels like that's a good baseball number, doesn't it?
809? Is that, I don't know. Is that like Josh Gibson's total number of home runs or something?
Sadaharu O? I don't know. All right. We are going to wrap this up with Dan. Yep. I really appreciate you coming on. This is why we have 100 people watching, is because of you.
Yeah, no, it's because you had 10,000 subscribers.
That's Dan's channel. I keep spamming it in the comments. 809 is a great average. I have hit 100 on a live stream before, but it's rare. So it's cool. We're at 95 right now, but it doesn't update very frequently. So
okay.
I don't know if that's a dirty joke by Mangini. All right, Dan.
John is not a dirty joke guy, as far as maybe he is. I don't know. Okay. Didn't make any.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you joining. It's always fun.
Yes.
And we got to do a collab sometime. I know you won't invite me on your channel.
Yeah.
I'm not super, but I'll have you on mine. at some point.
About the player that I'm planning, it's somebody that you have, I know, a very large collection of, and you're friends with the other people who are going to be on it, and I think it's a good, I think it'll be fun.
I'm looking
Planning
forward
on
to it.
something about a month from now.
Looking
But
forward to it.
just wanted to say congratulations. I watch all of your videos. I really do. And like I said, that's the other reason I wanted to meet you, both you and Mangini, is because you're two of the people that I watch all the videos for, which is hard for me to do because I'm a busy person.
Yeah,
But
I
you
appreciate that.
deserve it. You have a terrific channel. You work very hard on it. And I really appreciate not only the invite for this, but also the fact that, you continue to interact with your subscribers. And it's a terrific channel, and more power to you, my friend.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, Dan. The payment will hit as soon as we log you off here.
I just used that joke. Come on. You're stealing my jokes now.
Yes. Thanks, Dan. See you soon.
See, my
All right. We are here for about 10 more minutes before my friends Kevin and James join. And we made a bet before. I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll explain it when James comes on. I want to go back for a second because Arnie made a great comment. I'm pretty sure thecarddeal.com is Arnie, right? Somebody? Uh, doing your absolute best to not become one of those news networks on cards. I assume this is like a corporate channel is what this is what Arnie's saying. Um, yeah, I appreciate that. Uh, it, w- I want to, how do I say this? I have no desire to become one of those corporate channels that can't say anything bad about any of the big companies. Um, so I appreciate that. But I guess I get the how it happens because you get a lot of emails from companies and they say, "We'd love to sponsor you. Would you like to become an affiliate?" By the way, I'm not an affiliate kind of guy. That's way too much work no for no money. Oliver, yes, that shirtless video is coming very soon. Even my wife doesn't want to see that. Uh, the atom bomb is upside down. It's not. Nice try. I looked before I came down. Actually, not before I came down, but I asked my wife, "Did you turn any of my cards upside down?" And she said, "Shoot, I forgot." And then when I came down, I double checked because she's definitely the type to lie about that. Anyone have Detroit getting 50 on the Cowboys? I think that's a pretty decent bet. I'm not watching right now, but one can dream. Oh, we're at 107 people here. That's crazy, you guys. Didn't realize I had 10,000 subs. Listen to my videos to help fall asleep. I hear that. Uh, sometimes people say it as a nice thing, and sometimes people say it as a not so nice thing. I think it washes. I I guess I have very calming voice. Um, I don't know. I had one guy comment one of the meanest things I've ever gotten in a comment before about uh, how I'm something how creepy my voice is, and I don't remember the whole thing, but yeah. And here are my real life friends ganging up on me too. Nova Scotia. Jake, gonna see at the Shriners show. Yeah, thank you. Baseball brownie. Everybody looks to see if my cards are upside down. Cowboys down 47-9. Someday has Jerry given up control of the team yet to an actual general manager, or is he still controlling them? Pick my favorite what? I have like a therapist voice. My friend James just joined, and his name is perfect. We'll give him a minute. I'm just catching up on comments. Oh, this is such a great question. What are my channel goals for 2025? I've actually stopped putting channel goals. Uh-oh. Are you guys still hearing me? I've stopped thinking about channel goals. I still think about like my newsletter goals because it's growing. Um, but I don't know. I don't really think about, I just want to put out content that I would want to watch. Videos that I would say, yes, I want to watch that. And if it resonates with other people, great. My voice and demeanor are like a cool school principal. We have 113 people here. Oh man, this is it's Phil Plantier. This isn't even close. I don't even remember Herb Winningham, and I watched every game in 1992. Johnny Baumgartner. Jason's getting hammered with sponsorships. I have poor production quality too, Jason. I'm actually talking with a designer about a shirt semi-inspired by Mangini, or at least a comment thread on a Mangini post. I'm talking to a designer about it. I just have a hard time thinking that somebody would want to buy a shirt. So, Oliver, just subscribe to my channel. More attainable collection of envy, more TTM, yes. What's up? Keep doing Attic Time Friday. I will. Former Padre, great. He did hit 34 home runs one year, if I remember correctly, for the Padres. Junk Wax Hero hat. What's the toughest thing about writing an article? It's much easier than doing a video because I can do it anywhere. I can write it on my phone, boop, 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 done. I would say getting comments from people that I want comments from. All right, I should bring James in while he's picking his nose. Wouldn't that be perfect? This is my stupid friend James, who he has his screen vertical.
Yes, because I'm on my phone.
Where is your jersey?
I can't find it. I went to look for it, and I think in a fit of, I don't want to say anger or frustration, I honestly don't know where I put it. I'm hoping I didn't give it away, but I might have.
You gave away your Mac Jones jersey?
I remember at one point being I was in a bad place. I was very frustrated, and I may have callously tossed it to the side and commented to my girlfriend, "This needs to go to Goodwill," or "I see no point in having this anymore." That may have happened, and one of the few times she may have taken me seriously, I don't know, but I went to the spot where I thought it was, and it was not there.
So we should tell this story on why you two idiots are on right now, because this is important. Kevin, your audio is really weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it delayed? What's going on?
There was a background hiss, but it just went away.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So we bet before last season, Mac Jones last season. So over a year ago, Mac Jones had been 28th in the league in QBR the year before, and you said he would be a top 5 quarterback the upcoming season. And I said, there's no way, he's terrible. And you are an Alabama fan and a Patriots fan, and you're extraordinarily biased. And you said top 5 guaranteed, and we bet on it.
Yeah. And we gave him top 10, to be fair. We gave him top 10.
I said, I will give you
I thought he was going to be top 5, but at least in top 10.
And what people should know about this is that I would never wear a jersey myself. I think, yeah, Kevin's, who is that? Is that an Ortiz jersey?
This is a Johnny Damon jersey.
Johnny Damon. So I'm anti-jersey on grown men. So I know that we're going to lose about 15 viewers right here, but I think I wouldn't do it. How's that? And so you said that if I lose, I would have to wear a Mac Jones jersey.
Yeah.
And I said, fine, because there's no chance I'm going to lose. And I don't even remember what you said. And we would do a video together. But then when you lost, big time, you were so upset about it, you refused to come on. You would not cash your end of the bet in.
How can I refuse? I'm here now. This is me paying my dues for
Good sport.
ill-advised bet. Yeah, no, that was definitely unexpected. Man, still
Good
hurt.
sport.
Still hurt.
Jason, oh man, Mac Jones
Brutal.
is now backing up the worst starting quarterback in the league.
Did he get into the game today?
I
don't think
know
so.
if he got in. Trevor Lawrence actually didn't have a terrible game, but they lost big.
Yeah, last week Trevor Lawrence was good, so I thought they solved his problems, but I guess not.
Thank you, Baseball King Collectibles, joining my channel. I offer $2 a month to join my channel, and I don't really provide anything, honestly. It's just I had a lot of people saying, "Can I give you a couple bucks a month for the content?" And I said, "Sure." So I appreciate you guys doing that. Yeah. So you came on. You didn't even wear your Mac Jones jersey. You still think he's a future Hall of Famer, though?
Well, it's going to be tough unless he starts. So if he's not a starting QB, it's going to be difficult. Do they have like a backup Hall of Fame for backups? Is that
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hoping for like the Baker Mayfield redemption. Like somehow he's on a team, their starter gets injured, and he falls into the correct system with some capable receivers to really display his talents.
Maybe he needs to go to the Jets instead of away from them.
I'm wondering what's going to happen with the Dolphins and all these people who need starting QBs. Like, will he get a chance to start on another team? Because Andy Dalton, I don't know about him, and the Vikings. I mean, actually, the Vikings are hard to argue; they're undefeated. So,
yeah,
this is the kind of dadding I can get behind. James wears a Griswold Blackhawks jersey that his kids hate, and I would also wear something just because my kids hate it.
There you go.
Any backup QBs ever making the Hall? No.
So I can't see comments. They're about this big on my phone, so you guys are gonna have to let me know if someone.
Mookie
Did you not on a laptop?
No, I'm on my phone.
You kids and your devices nowadays.
Mookie Chilson suggests that Matt could try minor league baseball like Tim Tebow.
There you go.
Andrew says he would take Joe Flacco over Mac Jones, and he's nearly 40.
Ooh.
Elite Joe Flacco. Take Tom Brady right now over Mac Jones. I would too.
Yeah. I would take Tom Brady over Mac Jones.
And Tom Brady is, I think, double his age. Was he 48 to 24, maybe something like that?
Yeah, but Tom Brady.
Ross Life, thank you. Good thing. Oops, where'd it go? Good thing about Mac Jones wearing number 10. You only need some tape to cover it up for Drake May.
I know. Drake May is wearing 10 today. That was just a kick in the gut. You know.
Drake May had the first quarterback touchdown pass against the Texans this year today.
Well, they had the most points this season that the Patriots have scored.
Yeah. Patriots are really good.
They still lost by 20?
26, I think.
Listen, don't get hung up on the details, Kevin. You got to stay with the positive. You know, listen, we scored some touchdowns. We moved the ball.
Any new T206s? Yeah, George Sherm. Nobody's ever heard of George Sherm except T206 collectors. Who would I root for? Yankees or Mets? James, are you a Yankees fan?
I was growing up because I grew up in New York, and but now I'm pulling for the underdog. I'm pulling for the Mets. It was also a bit of a sting with what happened with the Red Sox, but I wasn't that into baseball back. Was it '86? But now I'm just sort of hoping. I'm pulling for the Mets just so the Yankees have a little further struggle, a little further title drought.
By underdog, do you mean the Guardians?
Oh no, people are still in the playoffs. Because the Mets are definitely an underdog to the Yankees.
Guardians are still in the playoffs.
New York's concerned.
Logan Ward, who is a legendary NASCAR collector, says he will take Carrot Top over Mac Jones.
All right, now people are just being mean. Now I just feel salty.
Desmond Ritter over Mac Jones.
Oh,
That's
come
I don't know about
Little
that.
Mac from Punch Out over Mac Jones.
Come on.
Jason, I'm a 50-year-old overweight slob. It's perfectly normal for me to wear a jersey of some of the greatest athletes of all time. We have a lot in common.
Thank you very much. I think it's totally appropriate to wear a jersey if you're a fan of that team. If you go to a sports bar or to some event like a Super Bowl party, something of that nature. If you go to I'll wear a hockey sweater if I go to a game, a Portland Mariners game. I think that's appropriate.
I love Aaron Judge, but I still can't root for the Yankees.
Oof.
Can't do it. I will take the Mets over them. Guardians, obviously, over them. And I hate the Dodgers, but I also love Mookie Betts, one of my all-time favorite baseball players. I love Shohei, obviously. I love Freddie Freeman. I love Clayton Kershaw, who probably won't play again. Oh, ouch, James. Oh, this might have gone too far.
Ryan Leaf over Mac Jones.
Tom.
These are people just doing what I do. They're just trolling a troll.
I would also take mac and cheese, as long as it's Kraft mac and cheese over Mac Jones. Got to be Kraft. Scott Zolak, Tony Easton, Tommy Hodson, Hugh Millen. I haven't even heard of one of those guys. A lot of people in Jacksonville screaming for Mac Jones to take over.
Mac's from that area, isn't he?
Ooh, people screaming for Mac to start over Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. There you go.
I just read that to you.
He's the hometown boy.
I'm telling you, Mac's got talent. I don't care. And he beat Trevor Lawrence. Well, yeah, he beat Clemson. Alabama beat Clemson. So
Kevin is a card dealer, and I met Kevin through James because James and I have known each other for 7 years now. Oof. And when I got back into the hobby in early 2021, well, it's late 2020, but then early 2021, I couldn't find cards anywhere. I was talking to James about it, and James was like, "Oh, you got to talk to my friend Kevin." So introduced me to Kevin, and Kevin gave me the lowdown of what the hobby was, and I was like, "What?" Well, after I'd been out for 16 years, my second time back in, and then and Kevin, you're on Instagram, Kevin's Cash.
Yep.
You go to the Portland show every day. It's a Portland show, basically. It's once a month, usually the first Sunday.
Yeah, first Sunday of the month. I set up at the Fireside. I'm going to be wrapping that up this year, but I think that's going to give me an opportunity to go kind of visit more of the other shows out and about. So,
do you have a lead on getting a table at another show around here? Dover?
I don't think so. I hasn't really been worth the effort, to be honest. It's something where moving things online has been a whole lot easier. Yeah, Portland, Maine. Yep. Moving things online has been a whole lot easier than moving them in person for whatever reason. And it's been a year-long kind of struggle, if you will. So I think it's time to shift gears, moving into 2025.
Yep. I hear you. Portland show, they do a great job of it.
Oh, absolutely. It's a fantastic, this is a me problem, right? This is not a show problem. I want to be clear on that. The Fireside show is great. There's a ton of great vendors, very personable, very easy to work with. I think it's just the items that I'm moving, right? Yarmouth show was excellent yesterday. Yeah, I went to that one as well. Very packed, lots of foot traffic, lots of people willing to move stuff.
It's amazing because I barely knew it was even happening. If I didn't have this channel, I wouldn't have known it was happening. And Yarmouth is 20 minutes from me.
And you still didn't go?
No. Then I just wanted to respond to this real quick. I have I did get the grade on my Nolan Ryan. I'll do a video on it when I receive it later in the week, probably. Although, TMI, I'm getting a colonoscopy later in the week, so we'll see how I do with videos late in the week.
I'm curious to hear what your grade is for that.
Yeah.
You get a
PSA min size. No, never mind. Sorry.
Oh, is this a chance for me to plug my company and my money-making idea for you, Mike?
It is definitely not. Nope. Nope. Definitely 100% not.
Big money. Big money. Just saying.
Bangor show, I can't imagine ever going to the Bangor show. Bangor is 2+ hours away from me. I know Tim lives kind of in between me and Bangor, but I hear good things about it if anybody's in that area of Maine.
I mean, but you've gone to the Shriner show. Shriner is what, 2.5, 3 hours from you?
2. But there's other stuff at Shriners, and it's a lot of vintage. Bangor.
Well, what's in the Bangor? You don't know. You haven't been there.
I've been to Bangor. I've been to Bangor many times in the last couple of years, in fact. See, Robert Bisson, show in Yarmouth yesterday, didn't know. Jim's looking forward to my Nolan Ryan video. Jim Faulkner, by the way, great channel. If I remember correctly, Jim, you're a big Nolan Ryan collector, right? But also Ryan Mountcastle, if I've got that right. I sometimes mix up. I watch so many different channels that I mix this stuff up.
I think the Yarmouth show is heavily advertised on Instagram versus other outlets. So if you weren't on there, you wouldn't see it. Barely ever on Instagram. In fact, I'm so old, I still call it Instagram when everybody else calls it Insta or IG. Like I call it Instagram, and my 14-year-old dad.
You're so old you call it the Instagram.
Oh man, who's hitting Shriners? I'll be there.
Yep, I'll be there.
Yes, Nolan Ryan collector and Ryan Mountcastle. Ryan, he likes the Ryans. All right, guys, I'm gonna kick you out now. You haven't been terrible, so we're gonna cut this off now.
Yeah, quit while you're ahead.
Before it goes off the rails.
I appreciate you guys coming on. This was fun. Talk to you tomorrow.
For having us, Mike.
See ya. Okay. What is happening? Everybody should subscribe to any of these channels. Wax Pack Wisdom, Jim Faulkner. Click on their channels, go over and subscribe. Boston fan, I assume this is Alan, but I can't tell by the name. Maybe it's not. I want Andrew to start YouTubing. Yeah, it is Alan. Go subscribe. I think, Alan, I saw you got a Jim Leland 86 Topps auto via TTM. I haven't had a chance to watch the video yet, but I didn't know Leland was doing TTM. I'm going to have to do that too. That went really well. I assume you mean James and Kevin on. It went well because it was short. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Got it back in early August. Okay. That's interesting because is it a new video that you just did? Because I just saw that. Let's do our first giveaway. Let's do. I'm saving the better one for last, for the end of the live stream. I'm going to do a Jose Canseco 86 Topps autograph. This is a duplicate that I have. If anybody wants this, you just need to comment in the next, I don't know, 30 seconds. Throw a comment in here because I'm using a comment picker. I don't think it helps me at all if you comment. Has to be somebody who comments. Jose, was Jose good? No. First 40-40 guy. I think he hit 440-ish home runs. Yes, yes. Mikey G. I love seeing the people who have been commenting on my channel forever. I appreciate that. Sometimes I see somebody who hasn't commented in a long time and they're commenting on somebody else's videos and I feel like I'm being cheated on. Like, hey, you're still on YouTube. You're still commenting on other sports card channels, but not mine anymore. What happened? Roids, yes. Yeah, Canseco, I think he's 60, 61 or something like that. Still a big dude. Jose's dupe is named Ozzy. Yep. I was sure Ozzy Canseco was going to be great when I was 7 years old or 8, whenever I heard of him. I was like, he's got to be as good. I heard he was intoxicated in Augusta. Sold his World Series ring. No way, Jose. It is signed, yes. And this, I believe to be authentic. I can't guarantee it, obviously, but he's a very reliable signer. All right. Mark Hoyle should definitely start a channel. Let's share my screen. It takes a minute for it to start. Let's start sharing. At least he was honest and admitted it all. That's right. Okay, we're going to go into this. We are going to, and I've got this is my only video in here. Start collecting comments. 42 different commenters. Matthew Martin, another longtime subscriber. Congrats to Matt Martin, longtime commenter. Awesome. Jose was supposed to destroy the Green Monster when the Red Sox got him. That didn't exactly work out. Matt, email me your mailing address. I think you have. I think we've emailed before. thejunkwaxhero@gmail.com. Yes, everybody try to convince Mark Hoyle to start a channel. Why does he hate A-Rod so much? I think it has something to do with steroids. But I don't really remember. Yes, sign up for my newsletter, junkwaxhero.com. Boom. Sign up for my newsletter. Got a new one coming out tomorrow. Actually, I watched a video this morning. Simon466 Cards, I think is the channel name. And my newsletter tomorrow morning is, I link to him and encourage you to go watch his video and talk a little bit about the video that he did about PSA opening an office in Plano, Texas. You might be familiar with that because that is where Beckett is headquartered. Thank you. Generally speaking, the people who are subscribed to the newsletter love it, which is awesome. It's very gratifying to start a newsletter, which is something I've always wanted to do. I used to have a newsletter 13 years ago, and it was, we won't get into what it was, just because it's not that it was inappropriate, but just because it doesn't matter anymore. And I love doing it, and I didn't have time. And this time my kids were young at that time. I've always enjoyed writing, and yeah, now I have time. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate that. In Jose's book, he claimed A-Rod was interested in his wife, Jessica. Oof. Is the newsletter over 1,000 subscribers yet? It is at 966 as of a couple of hours ago. Let's see, 967. Somebody just signed up. So here's my theory, John Keating, the funniest guy in the hobby, in my opinion. I'm guessing that John did not comment before now because he didn't want to win the giveaway like he did before. I think John, if I know, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I feel like I'm right. I'm not going to believe you if you tell me if I'm wrong. I think that John didn't want to win again. Ooh, that's a great comment. False narrative. A-Rod is only interested in himself. Did we crash the sports card radio site voting for Mangini yet? Sometimes print is better. Love the newsletter. Thank you. Ross Life subbed. Thank you. We do have, I'm hoping to have another person join this live stream in about 10 minutes. If he can. It is Greg from Midlife Crisis Cards. Midlife Cards, not Midlife Crisis. These are great. I'm hoping that Matt is gonna, has he responded? Has Matt responded? Yes, I just got his address. Good. Good. I hope I'm not sharing anything else. I think I've, okay, phew. Yep, indeed. Midlife, it's not Midlife Crisis Cards. No, it's not. Midlife Sports Cards. There's a different Midlife Crisis Cards. Greg is just Midlife Cards. That's Greg's channel. What's the next big card I'm saving for? Well, I have a 10,000 subscriber gift to myself that's coming. It's in my P.O. box as we speak. I'll be picking it up tomorrow, and I will do a little video on it tomorrow. It is I think it's a top 10 in my list card. I'm very excited about it. Midwife crisis implies that you're on your second of 3 wives or third of 5, maybe. Will the Celtics repeat? Is self-evident. There's no chance, unless both of the Jays get injured, that they don't repeat. They beat the Sixers by 50 in a preseason game last night. Luke Cornett was taunting the starters on the Celtics when he got to 10 points. This team is locked in. I'm considering doing a weekly video with Adam of Splendid Sports and Oliver, who is commenting here, where we just talk Celtics, and I would have specific topics. I don't know if I can commit to it, but we're going to do a live stream, or not a live stream. We'll do a video in a week or so as the season starts up. Oh, a crisis of midwives. Midwife could mean you're half done with the first wife too. Great call, Isaac. Yes. Does ChatGPT get its own desk in the SI writers room? I do not use ChatGPT or any sort of AI for my writing. Never have. You can't say I never will, but I don't think so. Celtics Nuggets final. I think it'll be Thunder. Embiid didn't play. None of the starters for the 76ers played. That's fine. Let's show some Wemby cards. I have a Donruss Wemby rookie. Ungraded. I picked it up for $1 in a $1 box at a show a while back. So if you know Joe Mazzulla, the Celtics head coach, they're going to be fine. Your wife said you shouldn't listen to a Celtics fan. Knicks look really good. I hate to say it. Oof. Yeah, Wizards are terrible. Oklahoma City, if I had to bet on a specific team, I always take the field, except right now with the Celtics. But if I had to take a Western Conference team, I would bet on Oklahoma City. T-Wolves, in my opinion, look worse since the trade. I couldn't believe they traded Cat for Julius Randle. Oof. No, Orlando. The Heat. Ooh, sorry. Wemby cards. I talked about this morning. Wemby cards are. I've become exhausted of them. I don't want to hear about them anymore. Missoula's too crazy to peak in October. I have. Do I have any graded Sports Illustrated? I have one graded Sports Illustrated because I had the autograph on it authenticated. Yeah, he's a weird dude. Do the Lakers make the playoffs? No. All right, that's enough NBA talk. Let's see if Greg has texted me. I don't have a text from Greg. So who's going to win the World Series, and why is it going to be the Dodgers? Yes, send me your Wemby cards. I'm exhausted by them and don't want to talk about them, but I would love to have some. 1968 SI Yaz poster. Yaz's rookie SI is from the summer of 67. I would love to have this, not this SI, but the 67 SI autographed. I have it. It's sitting right in this cabinet right here, but it's not autographed. And I also don't want to pay $149 plus shipping to have him autograph it. Greg is not waiting in the green room. The Mets have the teamwork to make the dream work. Mets were 11 games under 500, and now they're in the NLCS. Yaz was in SI and 59 as a high schooler. That's a crazy fact. I did not know that. If I did know that, I forgot. I have a friend, a childhood friend named Ethan Higbee, who was in SI in middle school as a face in the crowd. We can look it up, but he played in like 2 soccer games. I don't know why. I think he was in like South Africa at the time. I haven't looked at this in decades, but played in 2 soccer games and won the championship and won a cross country race or a track race in the same day. Now I've got to look this up. Featured in Sports Illustrated magazine's Faces in the Crowd for winning 2 state titles in cross country and soccer in the same day. I'm clicking into the cited note. Apparently has been removed from the internet. But yeah, I think Ethan is currently directing and producing a documentary on the 1975 Golden State Warriors. Which MLB team will the next year's Kansas City Royals with a huge turnaround year? Homer pick, Boston Red Sox. I want to see Judge versus Ohtani. Yeah, that'd be cool. Judge can't hit in the playoffs. Sorry. Any other recent TTMs? I have a Fisk coming back to me. He'll be the 3rd signer of his rookie card. Hopefully I'll get back in the next few weeks. My Nolan Ryan rookie signed by both Ryan and Koosman is coming back from PSA on later in the week, I think. The last 7 or 8 teams that beat the Brewers made it or won the World Series. Ouch. Power move by Greg. Yes. That is funny. Bandcamp Monthly. Yeah, Marlins won it in 97, and what was the other year that they won it all? I can't remember. Do I have an opinion on PSA getting into comic or magazine grading? I don't know. I don't really care about comic grading or magazine grading. I do like having some autographs on magazines, but I've only graded the 2 Jim Beckett ones, or authenticated them, because I wanted them in hard holders. Ouch. 1979 SI with Mattingly. What's the next Ted Williams card on my list? That's a good question. 50. I'd have to. Yeah, the short print 54 would be awesome. If only I could afford it. Any advice to new YouTubers trying to grow their channel? I get asked this on live streams, and it's probably a little too insidery. So I encourage people to email me, and I'm happy to provide you with some advice via email. We can talk. Nobody ever takes me up on it. I think doing it here is easy for you, but not so easy for everybody else. But if you want to take me up on it, email me, thejunkwaxhero@gmail.com. I'm happy to talk. 2003. That's what I was thinking, but that didn't seem right to me. But I guess that's right. Beckett. Speaking of Beckett, Josh Beckett, right? 97 was the Levon Hernandez one, and Josh Beckett was 03. Part of a midlife crisis is ghosting a live stream. Yeah, so the Red Sox lost to the Yankees in the 2003 ALCS, which was devastating. I was 24 years old and absolutely crushed. I remember very, very well. I was watching the game, watching Game 7 with my father-in-law. Pedro was pitching Game 7 against the Yankees. Grady Little was the manager. And batters, Peter Gammons had published an article like that morning talking about how batters hit 365 against Pedro Martinez after pitch 95 or pitch 100 that season, something like that. And Pedro was over that, and Grady Little came out and he was walking out, and my father-in-law, who hadn't watched every game that year like I had, said, "Oh, good, they're going to pull Pedro now." And I said, "No, Grady Little will leave Pedro in. He's too much of a coward to pull Pedro." And sure enough, he left Pedro in, and that was it. Thank you, Sammy. Appreciate it. Everybody go subscribe to Sammy Thunder. Great channel. Where are the Rays going to play next year? I don't care. I don't know. The Rays are. I wish baseball would fix the problem where some teams spend a lot and some teams profit a lot from the revenue sharing. If you go back, oh, look who showed up. Oh man, we got to bring in this guy, and it's going to take a second for me to be able to see him. So I'm just going to talk over him. I'm sure you guys can see him, but I'm not able to because my StreamYard is always wonky. I do have stickers. I always throw in one of my stickers. There's Greg. Everybody's
Hey, bud,
been.
how's it going?
You would not believe the awful things people have been saying about you in the comments.
Oh,
Terrible.
they're probably right.
Yeah, they are for sure.
Well, congratulations. You know, this is really quite an achievement. 10,000 is massive. It's
Thank you.
massive.
I'm really only doing this. I'm only bringing you on, so you have to bring. You're gonna feel guilty. You have to bring me on for your 10,000.
Well, I hope you're still doing your channel in 3 years.
It's not gonna take you 3 years.
Yeah, well, it's okay if it does. No,
Yeah.
but seriously, I was thinking about this. I was like, when you talk about vintage cards, that part of the community, or at least a lot of it vintage and stuff, there aren't a lot of channels that are at that level. It's a really big deal.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. You work very hard. I started following you during the hit streak, during the 56 day streak.
56. Yeah.
And yeah, it's a big deal, man. Congrats.
Thank you. That 56-day video streak was a blast most days. And then there were some days where I was just like, oh my God. And I had already committed to it. And so I'd be like, what can I give away? Because that's a video and it's super easy to throw a giveaway video together. And
Right.
boom, there's video. And I must
Yeah.
have done 5 giveaways during those 56 days because I'd be like, I need to get a 5-minute video out.
Well, you have some recurring stuff now. So there's like some things where you just do your thing and you just talk about, the news over the week, and your finds and things that you probably are seeing come up on different feeds that you're on. And so it just kind of, but when you're just going, you're trying to create every single video, you're trying to create something from nothing. And so it is harder.
Yeah, and you managed to create something and then something more and then something more and then something more out of nothing.
I guess. I don't know. I just have fun. I find myself, I'm not able to just kind of halfway do stuff. I have to, like, I'll get a video and I'll go, oh, that's fun. And then I'll find myself doing like a 45-minute side project to talk about one little topic. I'm like, what am I doing? It's like with my teaching, with my class, it's like every year I'm like, if I did this, that would be better. And I just keep adding, but I never take anything off the plate. So,
Yeah. You
yeah,
have
but
the most interesting topics on YouTube.
oh, that's kind of you to say.
And it's hard for me because I'll be like, oh, that's such a great topic. Oh, 48 minutes. And I don't
I know.
but I watch and I skip through and you do a great job. It's I find your channel, I'm going to get murdered by a million people. I think you have the best variety of topics of anybody on YouTube in sports cards.
Well, that is extremely kind of you to say. Um, I think my topics come from the community, though. I'm just I'm just talking about things that people are talking about, like, to me, like in the comments. My channel, the thing about my channel is they are long videos, but when you started your channel, I bet you had no idea it would end up being what it is now. Not just the size, but like what you do on your channel. You probably like, well, I'll show some cards, I'll talk about what I bought, and now it's turned into, you have attic finds and you have news and you have updates and you have all these things, and you've built a great collection. And when I started my channel, I had no idea, but it basically has turned into a podcast. And the podcast is just in video form, if that's your thing. And most people that talk to me say, Greg, your channel, I listen to at the gym. I listen to at work. There's a mail carrier that was like, I listened to you on my route. Dylan, our buddy, Double D, he says, I listen to you while I work, and he does outside work, and he just puts in his headphones. And it's just kind of turned into that. It's sort of like a podcast that's in video format. And so and that's what I like. It's been fun doing that, but I know it's not for everyone.
Oh, it's not that it's not for me. It's that I get up 5 o'clock-ish in the morning, and if I either watch something on TV that I'm interested in, or I prep a video and I record a video and I edit a video, and then I start work at like 7:15 every morning, and I don't listen to anything when I'm working. I have a
Mhm.
lot of calls, but I can't even listen to, like, I have people tell me you should listen to classical music, something that's not going to distract you. I can't do it.
Yeah. I'm that way too, you know, where it has to be quiet while I'm doing whatever I'm thinking about, or I can't focus. But I know there are so many other people, like Ray from Philly. He says, "Oh yeah, when I'm working, I just have you on in the background." And Scott Ranger Studio Scott, he'll say, "Oh, I've been listening to you a lot while I've been drawing this week." And you know, it's like there's two types of people. You know, the
Yeah.
way that our brains work. And I'm like you. I can't have the TV on, or else I don't remember what I'm doing.
Yep. I will get completely distracted. I want to address this question here. I've gotten lost in the comments, but this is a great question. Should collecting be easy? Any collectible that can be purchased every day of the week, is it really a collectible? It might be less valuable, but I still think it's collectible. What do you think?
I think that is a great example of why a lot of people that have been in the hobby for a while have moved to pre-war, or they've moved to non-sport, because it's so much harder to find. You
Mhm.
know, if I go to any card show, I can find a 65 Hank Aaron or a 59 Willie Mays,
Yep.
but I can't find a 33 Gowdy Hack Wilson, and I can't find an N29 George Washington. So a lot of these guys that have been in the hobby for one, and Mike Moynihan's starting to kind of go backwards, you know, as far as how far back he goes, and Ryan Nolan of Breakout Cards, you know, he's gone heavy into non-sport.
Yep.
And Orlando, a collector's dream, he's mentioned several times how, you know, he sold off a lot of his 50s and 60s cards to get some of these earlier cards. And I think it's still a collectible, but I think for each person, it just kind of depends on how much they've been exposed to the hobby, as far of if this a find, or is this just something I run across all the time. And so it might be regional because you don't have a lot of shows, you don't have a lot of shops. So as in perfect Greg form, that's my long-winded answer.
That wasn't long distance, that
Okay.
long-winded. Quick. Hack Wilson owns an MLB record still to this day.
RBIs in a season. It's
How
like
many?
180 or something.
What did you say?
It's like 180, isn't it? RBIs in a season.
It was 191. I had to go
That's
look it up
wild.
because I thought it was a little under that too. But yeah, 191. And the year before he had 159.
And I love his 33 Gaudy card because his legs look so small and his upper
Yeah.
body looks so big. It's like a
Yes.
garbage pail kid.
Yeah. Aaron Boone. All these people are reminding me of the 2003 ALCS
Oh, my
of Tim
fellow
Wickfield.
Yankee fans. I love those Yankee fans out there.
No.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
Cost Grady his job. Yeah, I don't think Grady would have come back. If they had won the World Series, they would have been probably required to bring Grady Little back, but they didn't want to.
You remember Jimmy Williams, who was the Red Sox manager for a while?
Yeah, Jimmy spelled Jimey, Jimy.
J-I-Y, right.
And he
There was
became famous for saying like something about a frog bumping its butt on a rock.
I don't remember
the,
that,
but
but
somebody put the quote in comments. But yeah, go ahead.
there was a radio, a national radio station that was on at like 10 p.m. and they always called something the Jimmy of the week because it was some bonehead decision of the week. And I felt so bad for him because I always thought he was a pretty decent guy.
Ryan McClanahan.
That's nice of
Legend.
you, Ryan. That's a wonderful picture of you. Oh, Jim.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to go away
That's
from
okay.
Ryan's photo. Yes. Jim Faulkner. So here's a good comment. What happened to my subscribers during the hit streak when I did 56 days in a row of videos? Did it go way up? Yes. I started it with like, I don't know, somewhere in the thousands, 1,500-ish subscribers, and it went up by 40%, which is crazy. And then after I finished that, I started doing interviews. Like I interviewed Ty Wilson of Chase and Carver. Chase and Carver was pretty new. I interviewed Pete Steinberg. I interviewed Chris Sewell, and those doubled my subscribers pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Well, you also started doing some
Attic Finds started at that time too.
attic finds, and then you were doing some stuff on sports Bench Clear Media. You were hosting or co-hosting a little bit, and so I know there was some crossover there.
Yep. Good point.
Oh, Mook, my boy.
You know that guy?
Mookie?
You were with him when I met you
Yeah.
in person.
Yeah. In fact, we didn't recognize you because you had a hat on. I think you heard my voice and recognized.
I heard your voice coming around the corner, and I didn't know who it was at first, but I was like, I know that voice. Tom
Yes,
Harrigan.
Tom, I can. I do it all day, every day too. 7.5 hours a day at work. Jeremy said, Jeremy, he lives local to where I am, and he does a lot of the local shows, and I think he's talking about going to Strongsville. Are you going to Strongsville this year, Mike?
Strong, no, unfortunately. I prioritize the national, and it'd be hard for me to get to Cleveland and Chicago in the same summer. Is it what?
But you could drive to Cleveland.
It's 11 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremy, when Mike Petty came up for a local card show a couple months ago, Jeremy and my dad and Mike Petty and I ended up out to dinner, which Mike Petty obviously picked up the tab for, which is fantastic. I agree.
Everybody should go and subscribe to Mookie Chilson's channel.
Yes.
This is such a great comment. It's true.
It is true. It's pretty cool. I'm very lucky. He's 75 years old.
Who? Oh,
my dad.
I was thinking Mookie Chilson for a second there.
No.
I was like,
Mookie's.
I saw
Mookie's our age.
I don't think he's. Is he in his mid-40s? I think you're 45 too, right?
I'm 45. Mookie's like 47 or 8 or something.
He looks younger than us.
Yeah, well, good looks will do that.
Greg has a great channel, great topics. Just pack a lunch.
It's true. They're definitely long. Oh, Dan.
You missed Dan. Dan was on for the first 20 minutes here.
Oh, I did miss Dan. I gotta do some sort of collaboration with Dan. I keep seeing everybody. He's having everybody on but me. So
that's what I said to him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I went at the National. I was like, "When are you going to have me on?" He's like, "You don't know anything about vintage. I can't have." No, he didn't really say that, but that's how I feel. I'm no expert, and he has a lot of experts on.
You're more accepted in the vintage community than you give yourself credit for. You're. I mean, I don't know. You collect some. I mean, you look over your shoulder right now. You got a Juan Marichal autograph. You've got a nice Yastrzemski and a '58 mantle. You've got the Ted Williams,
the Yaz rookie coming back on in a Tuesday PSA return, PSA autograph return.
And between that and the Nolan Ryan, those are a couple of really, really good ones. We both have. I have the Atom Bomb as well. What grade is your Atom Bomb?
I think it's a 7. Yeah, 7.
Mine's a 7 too.
I bought it at a show. No, I bought it off of YouTube saying, I think this is a 7. Chance for an 8, but I paid lower than 7 value, thinking I was sure I would get a 7 from it. John McNamara. Yeah, classic. Here we are. If a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his booty. It's the Jimmy Williams quote. What does that mean?
I think it's like sort of saying,
hypotheticals.
As Mr. Chilson said to me the other day, but if the queen had balls, she'd be the king. So it's sort of like you can't really it's not that because it's that. I think that's what it is. Right?
Jimmy Bacchus appreciates all the Jimmy talk. The algorithm certainly likes upload frequency. It does, but you can also get away with a weekly video if you're consistent. Thanks, Jim. Baseball King Collectibles going for the NL streak of 44, held by Pete Rose.
Oh, do you remember who almost caught him in the early 1990s? Somebody was a rookie and went on a wild hit streak and gave him a run. It was starting to creep into danger zone for that one. Do you remember who that is?
A rookie?
I'll give you a hint. He was a Cub. See if the comments know.
Sean Dunston?
Oh, that's a good guess, but I think his rookie card was a little earlier than that.
Yeah, he would have been 88, I think.
I
I remember Paul Molitor came close, but he wasn't in the NL and he wasn't a rookie at the time. Cub rookie.
Is it in the comments yet?
I'm way behind on the comments.
Oh,
Benito Santiago.
No.
That's what everybody. Oh, Mark Grace. Somebody said.
No.
Benito Santiago didn't even play for the Cubs.
No, he was on the Padres.
Molitor got to 39. Oliver says. Bum. There's no upside down slab tonight. No evidence of wife tampering. She'll be happy. I don't know if she saw the beginning because Dan showed up for this with a bunch of slabs turned upside down behind him.
Oh, that's funny.
And I said, "Oh, you've paid homage to me." And he said, "No, to your wife."
Oh, I like that.
I
didn't get to see anything until I hopped on because I was at a soccer game. I literally came home and I came straight in and I logged in. Jerome Walton, he got it.
There it is.
I don't remember what he got to, but I want to say it was mid-30s, like 35, 36, something like that.
Jerome Walton hit streak. Whoops. 30-game hitting streak in 1989.
Okay.
And he was named Rookie of the Year that year.
Yeah.
Good memory.
Yeah. It's I remember that one though. That was.
Andrew remembers when Bill Dolan had a 42-game hitting streak in the 1890s.
Bill Dolan might come up later tonight on the Four Collectors channel because I'm going to be on with them, and we're talking about guys who aren't in the Hall of Fame, who the Veterans Committee might put in, and I believe Bill Dolan has the highest WAR of anybody not in the Hall of Fame.
Huh.
He was on and he was on a couple of big teams. He's on Boston and he was on Brooklyn. Yeah, very good player.
Everybody should subscribe to Ken Nothing Fancy Collectibles. Greg is the best.
Oh, well, Steven with a PH is just being nice because I had him on my short-winded, long-winded the other day.
That was nice.
Once you meet Steven, you'll love Steven. He's a fantastic guy. Lots of energy.
We've got Hong Kong in the house.
That's pretty good. Worldwide. Look at you.
Yes, Global Mike.
I don't know how long I'm supposed to stay on, but when you want me to leave, just say, Greg, go away.
We've got about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then we will give away.
Just give me the shepherd's crook and just, like I'm Gonzo out on the stage.
We're going to give this away.
Oh, look at that. The last Ted Williams base card.
When I say we, like you're also giving it away. But
well, I donated it, didn't I?
No. I'm taking all the credit here. This is all mine.
Okay.
They don't want to put Bill Dolan in Cooperstown because he beat his wife.
I knew that he has some character issues. And I also heard that there were some potential, because you know how with a lot of those guys, there's rumors about racism and stuff. And what do we know about who? I had heard he had fallen into some of those categories. Here's
an important comment. A better hit streak, DiMaggio or Williams? And I'm going to give my opinion first because Ted Williams, for that entire season, 1941, had better numbers than Joe DiMaggio had during his streak.
Yeah. I mean, if I was an MVP voter that year, I'm voting for Ted Williams that season.
Yep.
So that's my answer. But I'm a Ted Williams guy, even though I'm not a Red Sox fan like you.
I'm trying to think. Who is your team?
I'm a Yankee fan. I'm named Greg after Greg Nettles.
Well, yeah, but how did you become a Yankees fan? I think I asked you this before and I've already forgotten.
So my dad grew up in the 50s. So he was born in 1950, and the CBS owned the Yankees. So the game of the week every weekend was the Yankees game. So the only team you got to see consistently. It's sort of like why there are a lot of Braves fans, right?
Yep.
Because of Turner and stuff.
Yep.
And so he became a Yankee fan. And so it became a lifelong, and then Mickey Mantle, all that. So then he becomes a Yankee fan, and my mom gets pregnant in 1978, and this is right when Greg Nettles is like, doing all sorts of crazy stuff at third base and getting in fights, but making all these fantastic plays. And they're like, I like the name Greg. Why don't we spell it like this? Graig. And so, since I was 0, I was in Yankee gear as a kid. So it was like born on me. I didn't
Yeah.
choose it. It was how I was raised.
I used to have a manager 20 plus years ago who was from rural Maine, and his whole family that he lived with, his parents, his family, everybody there was big Red Sox fans because you have to be in Maine. But
Sure.
his uncle lived in New York, and his uncle would mail just him Yankees gear from the time he was born, and his parents would let him wear it. And so as a kid, he grew up a Yankees fan because he only had Yankees gear that his uncle would mail to him, and he was the black sheep of the family, the Yankee
That's
fan.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I have another newsletter shout out, junkwaxhero.com. Subscribe to the newsletter. Williams reached base 84 consecutive games in 1949. Is that good? That seems pretty good. Ted Williams is better because it was the season before he went off to war and was changed forever.
There's that too.
Yep.
And that guy was like his record as a hitter isn't even as good as his record as a fighter pilot. Like that, he was an incredible fighter pilot.
Yeah. 5 years he missed to war,
Yeah.
2 different wars.
Imagine, and with the he still had a ton of home runs.
535-ish, I
Yeah,
think.
I mean, just say he gets 20 a year. Do the math. And he would have had more than 20. He could hit, that's for darn sure.
Joe Posnanski, many years ago, did an analysis of what Ted Williams' stats would have been if he had his average season during those 5 years that he missed. So he missed 3 complete seasons, and then only played in 52 and 53. Only played in 6 and 37 games because he went off to Korea, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Korea.
521, Matt Martin says. Is Ted Williams the most underrated Tier 1 Hall of Famer? This is a great question. What do you think?
I honestly, I mean, I know I'm biased because I love Ted Williams. I met Ted Williams,
So did
but
I.
yeah, I think that he's not in the conversation for whatever reason with Mays and Mantle and those guys from the 50s and Banks and Aaron. They don't even mention him, and I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Because he played in 7 postseason games as an entire career, in 1 World Series in 1946. No, nothing else. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
but at the same time, this is in an era where one team played in the postseason from the American League.
Yep.
It wasn't like now where like 6 or whatever teams do. So that's not his fault. That's
Yep.
like saying David Justice has more World Series home runs than Yogi Berra or something. It's because of when he played. So yeah, I think he's insanely underrated.
Yeah.
Insanely underrated.
Yeah, he was overshadowed by DiMaggio and DiMaggio's fame and success, and then after DiMaggio retired, Mickey Mantle and
Mhm.
Mantle's success and fame. But if Ted Williams had the opportunity to win if he had played on a good team.
But it's tough when you're going up against a team who's winning the American League every single year,
Yep.
and they're just stacked.
And this is a great point too.
That no doubt, he was a little bit grumpy at times.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna ship Greg off here, and I'm gonna do the giveaway. Everybody, go subscribe to. I'm gonna throw the link to Midlife Cards and comments. I don't know if that comment gets hyperlinked for everybody else. I assume it. I hope it does.
Well, hey, thanks again. Congratulations, and I appreciate you asking me to come on. It was an honor.
My pleasure. I'm glad you came on. I love your channel. And I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks,
See
Greg.
ya.
Mark gave out packs of cards to 1990 packs of 1990 tops to kids at the show today. Great guy. Okay, let's do another giveaway. Let's do this. We are going to draw again. This is for the Ted Williams 1958 tops. Ross Life. So in case you missed it, there it is right there. It kind of moved away quickly. Nice. Congrats, Ross. Make sure you email me at thejunkwaxhero@gmail.com. Send me your address. Ted broke his elbow prior to the 46 World Series. Dom DiMaggio injured himself going to second, losing the series. This is why you should subscribe to Ryan's channel. Baseball card. I can never remember the name of it. Baseball through history, cards through history. Put it in the comments here, Ryan. I don't know if you link to it from your. Anyway, Greg is just such a joy to have on. He is. I hope Ross saw that he won. I appreciate everybody watching tonight. Oh, we're still sharing screens. Sorry about that. Stop screen share. History through cards. Thank you. I knew I was close. It's history through cards. Mets just walked the bases loaded. Ouch. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. You are all awesome. I appreciate you joining in. Have a great week.